Yo, what if I told you that you are always the problem? What if I told you that every time something goes wrong, you are the problem? Y'all, if you have not followed the podcast, make sure you do so. Hit that follow button and you'll never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Fast Forward Mindset Podcast. Today, I will help you rewire the way you think and fast forward to the life you really want to be living. Yeah, what if I told you that you are the problem? And I know the majority of y'all are going to turn around and say you're not the problem, and you're going to point the finger at somebody else. Because in our survivalist mode, that's what we do best. We love pointing the finger at somebody else and saying that they are the problem. It's not us, they're the problem. But I'm here to tell you, you are the problemo. Always, all the time, the problem is you. I remember a long time ago, I got in this car accident. And it wasn't a really bad car accident. This one, anyways. I've been in a couple car accidents. And I'm sure some of y'all been in more than one car accident. One was probably worse than the other. In this scenario, this one wasn't that bad. It was just a fender bender, a little tap in the back when I'm at the stoplight. But it ended up costing me time, costing me money, and causing pain. As time went by, I started to realize what I thought was just a little bump in the back was a huge deal. I ended up having to go to the chiropractor because my neck wasn't feeling right. My back was sore every day. I mean, even my mindset was different after the accident, but it was so small. It was so minor. And it was one of those things where I was like, how's this accident really making me change things in my life? And so I was kind of upset because I had no control of the situation. Now, me and this guy had the guy that hit me, we both had the same insurance. And I guess the insurance company would bicker with each other internally, but things just wasn't moving fast. When I would call the insurance company, they're waiting on his response. And they kept saying, well, we can't do anything until we talk to him. And I'm like, bro, this dude is ignoring you. He pretty much ran into the back of me. I've sent you pictures. You got the police report. What else more do you need? Well, I guess because the same insurance company, things work slower than what you think. They don't want to pay them own selves, or they don't want to pay their own. They don't want to pay me. They want to pay me. So, anyways, y'all, it was out of my control. But I was so frustrated because I couldn't control the scenario. And I was becoming more the problem than anything because I couldn't control the scenario. And I'm sharing this with y'all because there are some things that are out of our control, and there are some things that are within our control. But no matter what, whether it's in your control or not in your control, I'm telling you, you are still the problem. You can never run from being the problem in life. What about the things that you can control? What about the things that you can hit the reset button on? What about the things that you can hit fast forward and rewind on? That's what I want to talk about today. What if I told you that you are the problem? What if I told you that every single time something goes wrong, you're the problem? But again, in our survival mode, what we do is we point the finger at somebody else and we say it's their fault. You're the reason why this happened. It's because I'm black. It's because I grew up in poverty. It's because I grew up in a trailer park. It's because I grew up in a particular barrio. We just like to blame everybody else instead of blaming ourselves. Because a lot of times we are the problem. But because we're the problem, we shift the blame somewhere else. And so the problem doesn't get the attention that it needs. And then that problem continues to progress and progress and progress. And what was a small problem turns out to be a big problem. What if I told you that you are the problem? No matter what, you are always the problem. At least in your story, you should be the problem. We've got to quit blaming everybody else when something goes wrong. That's in our control or outside of our control. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, it is still the life that we live and the problems we have to get through. If we are less pointing a finger at other people and blaming them for the problem and just take ownership, then things are more than likely quicker to get fixed. Things that are in your control, right? But even if it's not in your control, you still have to exhibit patience. You still have to demonstrate waiting. You have to make sure that you don't make a small problem into a bigger problem. I got fired from a good job out of high school. Really good job. Man, it was all bad. But anyways, also this job was a good job. This job offered me stock every year. I got so many shares every year for being a full-time employee. If I remember correctly, it was 300 shares of stock for full-time and 150 shares stock options for part-time people. And yes, this job did have part-time positions. And every single year, once that stock vests, I was the first dude calling the stock option saying, send me my money. Send me my money. I need all my money. This ain't a joke. I need all my money. You may think this is a joke, but I need all my money. And so every single year we got the stock. The hours weren't the greatest hours. It was 12 to 9. It was a collection job, calling people saying you delinquent on your credit card. But the job offered overtime. The pay wasn't bad. It was a pretty cool gig. I mean, they had like little get togethers. We had luncheons. They had like people bringing coffee. They had vendors. It was a pretty chill job. But I lost the job. I got fired from the job. And I got fired because I never wanted to take my butt to work. It's kind of funny. My mom and dad had an ongoing joke for me because I also lived in the home at this time. And that's why it wasn't a huge deal for me to make it something that I had to do because I was at home with my parents. My parents paid the bills. They didn't charge me anything. And I know that if worse comes to worse, my mom and dad got it. So I didn't care about the job. Go to work one day, call out the next day. Go to work 2 days, call out the third day. Go to work for a week, call out the next week. That was the name of the game I played at this job. What if I told y'all that I was the problem? I was the reason that I got fired because I didn't take the job serious enough. It's a really good job. And to this day, today I really regret losing the job. Now I'm not overly infatuated with it that I lost the job. However, it made me value that when I do get another job, to treat that job like it's something that my life depends on. So every job that I got after that, my life depended on it. And I went to work every single day. And I worked hard every single day because I knew what it was like to lose a job that was within my control. It took me a while to really admit that I was the problem. For a couple months, I ran from it. I kept saying they didn't like me. They didn't want to keep a black man employed. I made every excuse in the world you could think of, y'all. And at the end of the day, when I really thought about it, no one was picking on me. It wasn't anyone's fault that I wasn't going to work. It was nobody's problem but mine. I got myself terminated from a very good job. Yeah, very good job. And I tell y'all the bonus, the stock options was good. I want to say one year I got 8,500, and the next year I got 9,800. And I'm telling y'all, I would take that stock and put it all into my G rides. And if y'all know me from back in the day, I always had a nice car on rims with a system, nice tinted windows, and with the top of the line, state of the art alarm system. That was just me. So I would take that money that I would get from my stock options. I would sell my stock and I would take it, invest it right into my cars. I had a couple of nice ones. But that ran out after I got fired. Couldn't do that no more. And so the reflection was really on me at the point in time. And after a while, I felt stupid. Like I got fired because I didn't want to go to work and I was an adult. It's really immature. But that was a problem. I couldn't blame nobody else. I tried to, but it was nobody else's fault but mine. Back to what I said, my mom and dad had an ongoing joke. They'll be like, hey, it's kind of funny. The days that you're supposed to work your regular 8 hours, you don't go to work. But when there's overtime, you work. I think you got the picture backwards. And after I got fired, my dad was like, told you. Told you, I told you. And I'm like, you didn't tell me nothing. You didn't tell me nothing. But he told me. He's like, son, you're going to lose a good job. I didn't want to listen to him and my mom, even though they had their ongoing joke. I got fired. But y'all, say that to say that we need to stop blaming others for things that are within our control. Because majority of the time, we are the problem. We are the issue. We are the problemo. But what do? We're quick to blame somebody else. We're quick to say it's that person's fault. We're quick to say it's that person's fault. We're quick to blame everybody else except for us. Some of us never want to take ownership. I tell y'all, since that day, I have never lost a job again because I went to work every single day. And like I told y'all, I work 110% every single day like it's the last day I'm working that job because I understood the value of losing a great job. When I couldn't go and buy the rims no more for my new car, when I couldn't go and get a new system, when I couldn't go and get the state-of-the-art alarm, I knew right then and there I lost everything. It was no more high-siding, not at all. It was just riding. It was just riding normal, right? No more custom rolling. It's factory rolling now. Factory rims, factory radio, factory everything now. But I was a problem. Let me land a plane for y'all today. Stop blaming other people for your problems. The quicker you stop blaming other people for your problems, the quicker you'll take ownership. I was listening to Myron Golden a couple weeks ago, and he said this mantra, and it was a blanket mantra because it hit right home really quick. He said, the quicker that you fix your life, the longer you have to enjoy it. But the longer you keep blaming people, the longer you keep shifting the blame somewhere else, you prolong and living a good life. Your life's going to continue to struggle because you blame everybody else. But if you change your life, the quicker you change it, the longer you have to live a better life. Put that into perspective. Number one, stop blaming others. Let it go. You can't shift the blame no more. You shift the blame way too many times. The blame game is over now. It's all on you. No matter if it's in your control or outside of your control, it's your problem. Number two, take ownership. I made a mistake. I messed up. So be it. One of my biggest things that I'm big at work in my management position is three things that I tell my team. I say I'm very easy to work for. All you gotta do is come to work and you just gotta work. Pretty simple, right, y'all? All you gotta do is come to work and do what you gotta do, and James won't say nothing to you. But good morning, have a great day, great job, congratulations, you killed it. Right? But I'm big on three things. Positivity, be positive, accountability, take accountability, right? And teamwork. I'm big on those three things. But the middle word, y'all, was accountability. Take ownership. I tell my team all the time, if you do something wrong, raise your hand. If you make a mistake, raise your hand. Let me know. Let somebody else know. Because your mistake that you made, you raising your hand, can save three other people from making that same mistake. And the reason why my teams have all been so successful is because they all take accountability and ownership. And when something goes wrong, they're quick to give me a call and tell me. they're quick to message me and tell me. I share whatever I know with the rest of my team, and that makes us prosperous. So number 2, take ownership. You make a mistake, I made a mistake, boss. I was wrong. Shouldn't have done that. But I'll fix it and I'll share with everybody else so they don't do the same thing that I did. Take ownership. Number 3, focus on your growth. Rewire the way you think. Rewire the way you think. Focus on your growth. Y'all know I get on this podcast and I preach to y'all like I'm Reverend Reggie Jackson. Every single couple times a week, I'm on here. And I record probably every day, but I only post a couple times a week, upload a couple times a week. But anyways, so y'all get the drift. But what I'm saying is that I'm still focusing on my growth no matter what. I'm on here sharing things with y'all that will help y'all be inspired, that will help y'all grow personally, and that will motivate y'all. But at the same time, I still need growth. I still need motivation. I still need everything that you need times 3. Because if I don't have what you have, and I'm up here trying to teach y'all and inspire and motivate y'all and help y'all grow, if I'm not getting that same recipe in my cookbook, then my life is gonna be in shambles. And I'm not gonna be able to share the goodness with y'all. So just like you focusing on growth, you rewiring the way you think, I'm doing the same thing every single day. I'm reading books, y'all. Books about self-growth, books about the mindset, books about meditation, books about anything in this world that's going to help me be a better person today. I'm doing these things. YouTube, looking at educational videos. Myron Golden, I just told you I listen to this brother once or twice a day. I'm still doing the things that I have to do to rewire the way I think. Number 4, last but not least, I take action. I take action, and you must do the same thing. You must take action. If I share with y'all and tell y'all that I'm doing this, you must follow that same suit. Now, it may not look like mine. It may be a little different. It may be at the 12th hour, but guess what? You must find some way to take action if you want to grow. Like I just shared with y'all earlier, the mantra that Myron Golden said. He said, the quicker you change your life, the longer you have to live a better life. The math is mathing with that one. That makes sense to me. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then I have to ask you, what are you thinking about? We must take action every day, all day. Yeah, I have to read every single day. Because if I don't, the reading is not impactful. It does nothing for my life. And just like you, if you don't work out every single day, you don't do those little growth spurts that you need to have in your life, it's not going to work out. Your life's going to be the same way every single day, all day. So we must take action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not as our New Year's resolution, because we're getting close to that. And I can see a lot of y'all right now already saying, oh, that's my New Year's resolution. Brother, you still got 5-6 months to go. That ain't a resolution. Sorry. Unfortunately, it is not. What if you die before you hit the resolution? I know that sounds critical, but it's true. We plan on making changes in our life in the future, and some of us not even going to live that long. Sad to say that, but it's true. So we must take action today, no longer wait to tomorrow. So as I said, y'all, what if I told you you are the problem? How do you fix the problem? Stop blaming others. Take ownership. Focus on growth. Rewire the way you think. And last but not least, always take action. Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Y'all, if you have not followed the podcast, make sure you hit that follow button, because when you do, you'll never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. Go check out my website. It's www.rewirethewayouthink.com. Y'all, I'm not hard to find. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's Fast Forward Mindset Podcast. If you're willing to support the podcast, support this cause, I'm not too proud to beg. You can cash at me, $JEWATKI. If you did not get that, if you go to the body of the episode description, you'll see my Cash App info in there every single time. No, y'all, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a father. I'm not asking you to donate to me like you do at your pastor at church. However, I'm saying if you want to support me and donate donate to the cause, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm not going to stop you, and I'm not too proud to beg. If you're having thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James, and I hope this message helps you rewire the way you think. And as I always say, if your mom said, "Is it making you money?" It's costing you way too much. And that's my 2 cents in it, y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life, fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.